welcome into another podcast on my broadcasting YouTube channel. This is an episode that I've been looking forward to doing for a couple of days now. We're here with an up-and-coming photographer in local sports media. It's Bryson Cain. He's a junior at Somerset Berkeley and does a lot of photography and mixtapes for our Somerset Berkeley and local school sporting events. Bryson, thank you for joining. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I appreciate the opportunity. I think it'll be great to get more of my workout, and I can just every opportunity I can get. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. More airtime, more reps, you'll take it any way you can, right?
Yep.
So I want to start out with the introduction to your photography career. How did it start out, or did it just happen out of nowhere?
In the fall, I went to the first football game, and I was like, this can be another boring year. And I eventually ended up asking my mom if I could use her camera for one of the games, and then I sent an email to Miss Troutman about taking pictures at that game. I forget what it was, but I ended up going to a Somerset game. Well, first at a Diamond game because they needed pictures for something. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go try this, and I did that. I liked it. I loved it. So I kept going, and then I emailed Miss Troutman about it, and ever since then I've just been growing. And I started my Instagram with that, and here we are now.
So you said you used your mom's camera. Was she a part of maybe other family members that did photography in the past?
No, she used to take pictures for like when I was probably five, like 4 or 5. She used to take pictures of everything, and the camera had just been sitting there. So I was like, "Do you still have that camera that you used to use all the time?" She's like, "Yeah, somewhere." So I ended up just taking that, and here we are.
And you also mentioned too, Miss Troutman. Have you taken the photography classes at Somerset?
I have not. So she always says that's the most interesting thing is that I haven't actually taken the classes. So this is all just like naturally happening. I'm learning everything online. Like I have no like actual teaching. I haven't taken any classes. This is just me like learning on my own.
I'm guessing you're going to be joining the class next semester, though.
Next year,
Next
yeah, that's the
year.
that's the plan.
Now, I believe it's like an intro and then advanced digital photography. I don't know if you're going to get an advanced
Yeah.
right away, but you know some of the stuff that Miss Troutman puts on. They've got like a photo gallery walkthrough
hmm
next week. What's it been like working with her and some of the other local photographers?
Yeah, just being able to work with her and like other local photographers, but I love building my network and being able to just put my work out there and just showing people and then having her guidance really helps out a lot. She knows what she's been doing. She knows what she's doing. She's doing it for so long. I just appreciate and owe a lot to her for what I do.
So you started it in September. You created your own Instagram profile for just the photography itself. When did it start taking off, and when was it that, hey, this is what you want to do?
It really started with my first like really big post was the soccer all-star game, it was that I'm pretty sure it was that one where I got over like 100 likes, and that was like one of my first 100 like things. I was like, wow, people actually like really like this, and just ever since then, I was like really just into it. And as the football season went on, I just kept doing it more and more. And I didn't want to go to a game just to watch. Like I felt like I was missing out by not taking pictures. Like I just didn't feel like it didn't feel right not having a camera there.
So you could just kind of wanted to like fit in, like that's what I'm trying to get from you.
Fit in like,
Like just have a good time there. Like you just
oh
didn't want to
yeah,
be there just to show up.
yeah. Because I mean, anyone can just show up to the game and stand there. And like the student section this year was kind of sad. So just being able to be a part of the game my own way and kind of give that extra boost they weren't getting from the student section, it kind of meant a lot.
And you know what? Now you're a fan favorite at Somerset too. So you gotta love that, right?
Can't hate on that.
You also do mixtapes and some videography too at some of our
Yes.
games. How did that start out? Was that something that maybe one of the athletes reached out to you about that? How did that start?
So this came from the Diamond AD, Bobby Bailey. He always talks about how the best thing to get into around here is videography, as there's like no real like legit videographers around here. So he was like, whenever you get the chance, like start taking videos and doing stuff. So it took me reaching out to Colton about it, and I asked him for my first one if I could do it. He's like, yeah, sure. And ever since then, I kind of like doing that on the side.
So that the first video, the first mixtape was that Colton Pacheco one against Fairhaven.
Yes. That
Uh,
was my first time doing it, and I really didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of threw it together and hope it would stick.
hey, you know what? It came out good though. That was the first one, and I thought it came out great, especially the opening part because
hmm
that was our rec night in the gym.
Yeah.
They had all the kids lined up. You were right at the end, so you got that
hmm
walkout perfect.
Yeah.
Have you taken TV media with Mrs. Peckham at all?
I have not. I've taken no classes related to photography, videography. This is completely on my own. Like this is straight learning as we go.
Is that going to be something like along with photography you might do next year?
If I have the time for it. My main thing is taking the photography class, but if I can get in my schedule intro, I would totally take it.
Well, I have no idea what the school schedule like is there now, but I mean most of the math, the Spanish, like that
Yeah,
should all be squared, so it would should be a lot of electives right now.
yeah, definitely.
But like you've seen Miss Peckham at the games, and you've
Hmm.
seen maybe like George Austin or some of the other
Yeah.
media members. Steven Sanchez, he's another one.
Hmm.
You've collabed with them, I'm guessing, or maybe just chatted with them. What have you learned from them?
Really, it's just about putting yourself out there, just being able to like market yourself and just showing your work and trying to get as many people to see as possible is really just the best way to grow. And they've been doing it for a while. So talking to them every game is also a pleasure, especially during football. I really talked to Steve Sanchez about it, and just being able to talk to him about like sports and stuff, just having that, it really taught me a lot about just everything about like high school sports and how there's a whole different side to it than just, oh, it's just a game and it's over. Like there's so much more that goes into it from a media side. It really, it's just interesting to me.
Yeah. And even staying local, like George and Brian Moniz, our main camera guy, they've made full-time careers out of it. And I know
Hmm.
all that part of it too is like local town meetings, local events, but
Yeah,
you can make this a career. Because
definitely.
I've I don't think like you and Troutman's other kid, Calder,
Hmm.
I haven't seen this. We haven't seen this in a long time. We've seen this many students and these young of students getting out there and putting their stuff out there more.
Hmm.
So let's take a look at some of your photography. I'm going to share my screen real quick. All right, can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right, so the photography that I have selected, we're going to look at the state championship for basketball, Somerset and Malden Catholic. That's the
Hmm.
big one. That's the picture that got out there the most, the
Yeah,
celebration. And the student section, as you said, it was hit or miss this year, but they showed up, and that's like the perfect shot. That's going to be
yeah,
the one that's going to be framed forever.
definitely. That picture, I that came out better than I ever thought it could.
Yeah. I got that one, Colton, before. And what's kind of like your not like a motivation, but what do you try to capture? Like, do you try to capture like the pregame stuff or like the energy? What are you trying to capture when you do all of it?
Anyone who can pick up a camera can take a picture of someone's back and say, "Oh, that's a cool picture." But for me, it's more of like you need to if someone's looking at a picture, they need to like feel what that person's feeling or like be they need to be like transcended into that moment and like be there. Like anyone can do it. Like they can take a picture and say, "Oh, this is cool," but you have to really nail it down and kind of get that emotion that you can draw out of a picture and make
Yeah.
someone feel that with them.
Let's see. That's a good one. Julia Colbert singing the anthem. And it's not just about the players, the coaches, the fans. Like there's all sorts of parts that go into like a sports game or a town event. So it's good that you're getting everybody that's involved into the spotlight as well. And I'm sure Julia appreciates that.
Definitely. Just getting the atmosphere of the moment because it's such a big game that we haven't had in what 20 years since our first like Final Four. But being able to go to
Yeah.
a state championship and go to like a college arena like that and just capture that like raw emotion that everyone's feeling, it's just I don't think I'll ever get that again out of out of a game.
Yeah, we're never going to see this run again like we've been seeing with Somerset Athletics the last year, year and a half.
Definitely.
Whoops. Hold on. Think I went to the other post. We got Max Finlaw flying up, and that was during warm-ups. But I know a lot of times the
Yeah.
photographers like to do the action shots too,
Hmm.
where someone's high up in the air or trying to make a block. So that's a good one
Yeah.
you got right there. You got Finn doing warm-ups, the student section, obviously.
Hmm.
You got Coach Slater. Coach Slater was a big part of that too. He also helped promote your work online too.
Definitely. Yeah.
That was after, yeah, that was after
That
that.
was after. Yeah.
Then we got more of the metal stuff. And there it is, Finn again. You got to capture the emotion. And it's all about getting it at the right time, too.
Hmm.
Like, 'cause
Definitely.
you can miss something, and half a second later, boom, something happens and you miss it.
Yeah.
That's another good one, too.
Yeah. That one got in. That was the cover for the best of our, I think it was best of basketball.
Yeah,
That one ended up
the
being
Boston Globe one.
for the Globe. Yeah.
I think we got some questions coming up about them soon, too. So we'll make sure to touch on that. You got Coach Slater holding up the trophy. There's
Yeah.
Steven Sanchez doing the interviews.
Mhm.
That's a good one. You do kind of some edits, the black and white, some saturation
Yeah.
in there as well.
definitely.
I like that one. Who was that interviewing Finn and Dom?
I forget his Instagram. It's something like it's something after Whistle. I don't know. I just followed him after the game and I found it. But I just saw them interviewing. It's like I forget what photographer it was, but I follow a ton of them on my feed, and I saw them. It might have been for Rhode Island when LaSalle won. They had a picture like this where it was like the news was doing it. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and capture that, like through focusing in on like the camera flip out screen instead of like on them. It's just like a different look into it, like unique perspective.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, we got Caven impersonating Kobe Bryant. It's the new Jason Tatum on the block right now doing that.
Yeah.
That's a good. So you got to go in the locker room. So you get to see some of this behind the scenes stuff too. Talk about that.
It's really just about being. All it takes is just being nice to people. You make connections, and like the more you do it, the more people respect your work, and the more like they'll actually pay attention to it, and like they'll let you get into these things.
So now we're gonna look at a mixtape. I have the Brendan McDonald one selected from the Minichog basketball playoff game. I'll play the beginning of it when it's like him going on the court, and then you clipped out. I think it was me, JJ, and Grant saying stuff about
Yeah.
Brendan McDonald. So once we get that, I'll mute it. We can watch it because of copyright music stuff. Brendan McDonald, the eighth boys basketball player to record 1,000 points. So mute that so we don't get flagged for it. But you got to get the warm up stuff, obviously,
Mhm.
beforehand. And you kind of get it in like sequential order almost.
Yeah.
Like the transitions that you got, the nice little flash that goes. So, what's the editing process with this?
So for something like this, I found this app. I forget what it's called. I use it on my iPad. I color everything beforehand on Lightroom, and then I export it to this app, and then I do everything through there for like the editing and timing.
That fin dunk was a nice one. And you sit like along the baseline a lot of the
Hmm.
times too. So I know we just talked about it for the basketball, for the photography, but when you're doing this, what's kind of like your, okay, what's your focus? And does it vary? Because this game was a blowout in the second half.
Yeah.
Does it change between a blowout and a close game? How do you attack that?
Well, for a specific player like this, it's more just focusing on what they're doing and kind of capturing like their emotions throughout the game. The good thing about Brendan is that for this game, even though it was a blowout, he got in for like he played most of the game either way, so that was nice for this. But like if it was a blowout, I did someone like Cole and he gets taken out like the fourth quarter, I'll probably end up switching to doing photo. I'll end up just probably taking photos or I'll do video for someone else just to get clips. I know they
That's
appreciate
also,
that.
yeah, it's also nice what you had at the end. They do like the little mini autographs
Yeah.
at the, so is that like a vanishing marker that just goes right on the camera lens with that?
No, so I use a lens hood and then I put a piece of plexiglass over it and I use a paint marker and they sign on that.
And do you collab with anybody else at all? Like, okay, let's say Calder does some shots. Let's say George gets some shots. Do you ever work with them and try to get like maybe right next to each other to try to get a similar shot?
Not really. I haven't really talked to them about that, but I mean, at the end of the day, the shots are pretty similar because it's all the same action. But if it is, it's not intentional. It's kind of just coincidence that they got the same stuff.
And what's kind of like your go-to for, I know we talk about the sports games a lot, but what's your go-to for it? Like, is it easier to do it when it's a closer game, when it's a blowout, when it's a packed gym versus a less packed gym?
The I like the pack gyms because so for example, for the DR game at home, I love doing that because it was like the student section was really good and it kind of you could feel the atmosphere through it and you could like you can feel that through the picture. For a blowout, it kind of teeters out towards the end when they're like on that run to blow them out. It's good, but once they actually end up like up by like 30 or 40, it's kind of just dead from that point on. But my favorite game probably from this year for basketball at least was the DR double overtime just because the
Yeah.
emotion feeling in that
The
gym and
Born, oh no, the one at DR, you mean, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like the storyline with Josh Reedy and all that going into it, that was just it was awesome.
That might be the answer because we have some fun questions that we wrap up with. When we get that, that's
Yeah.
going to be your answer for one of them. I want to talk about the Boston Globe real quick because your work has been featured in there a couple of times this year. What is the process like with that? How do they reach out and how do you get selected for it?
So for that program, Miss Troutman sent it to me. It's through their Headliners of Education, like high school sports photography program. It's John Vitti. He runs it through the Globe. You get an email, and like someone like recommends you for it or whatever. Like you get the email, like you get invited to it by someone who's already in it. They send you that, you sign up for it, and then once you're in it, you can send all the pictures like that you capture, like the ones you want to send in to be considered for the Globe through an email, and you like write your own caption for it, and then if they post, it depends if they post it or not. Kind of
Now,
just a waiting game.
yeah, when they post it, they get your name and the school beneath
Mhm.
it. Has it led to maybe more opportunities? Like people have seen it? Have any people reached out to you because of it?
Not really, but for the basketball one on the Instagram post, they put my picture like the main thing because that was like the head, that was like the main thing. So I followed all the people who else were featured, and I mean that kind of got me more photography followers. And I posted on my story, so I think that was also probably a good look seeing like, oh, his work's been in the Boston Globe. It's like he takes good pictures or something.
And what are you going to be doing for the springtime? Probably more lacrosse, baseball, stuff like that.
I'll be everywhere. I mean, when I posted on my story about like for sports, I actually got a lot of people asking for it for especially a lot of lacrosse. So between Seekonk, Somerset, and then a couple girls teams asked, and then baseball wants pictures at some point. I'll probably end up doing softball because they've been on a roll, so that'll be good for publicity. Same thing with K softball because they're good every year. So that's just I also look at it as like trying to go for the teams that are like a hot streak because the more publicity that's like around them or like what like people are actually looking into them, like the more popular it'll be.
Yeah, you hop on the bandwagon, you know.
Pretty
When
pretty much.
Well, that's what Case softball's on because I think they're going for three in a row this year.
Hmm.
Seekonk baseball's going for three in a row.
Three.
Somerset lacrosse just is 2-0 right now, first ever wins, and they got an interesting one coming up on Wednesday at Seekonk.
Hmm.
So that's going to be
That'll
an
be
interesting one. Let's get into the fun questions. I've got 7 of them lined up for you. Go any way you want to with these questions. First one is, what's your favorite photo that you've captured in your career?
my favorite. Oh God, there's a couple. It's probably the DR one where Ada Mirando has his hands on his
Yeah,
head. It's in my best of winter. It's like the main picture
I'm
I
gonna
put for it.
try pulling it up real quick. That was my pick.
I think that's
Yeah, there.
probably my.
That's
I
one.
think that's probably my best one too. At
Is there
least one of my
one?
favorites.
I'm trying to see if there's one where it's like, oh, and that's
Oh,
it.
the Jacob Laurel one too is up there. I love that
Oh,
picture.
that one, yeah.
That was a favorite.
Let's see. I'm trying to find. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
full shot of it right there.
Hmm. That
And
was in the Globe.
that was to
That
send it to the second overtime, right?
Yeah, that was after Finn threw up the prayer to
Yeah.
hopefully we get in.
I remember the second overtime because the girls were playing DR at home. I was at that game. And then
Hmm.
it was me, um, God, Taylor Travis was there. And Matt Carpenter. We were all watching it on the monitor for the second
Yeah.
overtime. So that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Next question I have for you is it might be that one too. What's the favorite game you did photography for?
Favorite game. Um, you can't go wrong with the state championship. I mean, that's gonna be a different experience. But a lot of basketball is a lot of my favorite just because this how successful they were. But I mean, I love doing hockey this year. Hockey was probably my favorite team to be around. They were just awesome throughout the year. They
Yeah.
were appreciative and they
Now,
were
what did you feel like you did more with this year, hockey or basketball?
um I think I got more out of basketball, but I think I enjoyed hockey games more.
Okay. Next one I have for you is what's your favorite photo shot from any photographer all time,
All time. Oh,
if you have one?
I mean, as a Giants fan, I gotta go with the helmet catch.
Yeah.
That
I
picture
hate
is
looking up this one, but let's see. Yeah,
yeah.
that you know what?
That's a
That's a moment in sports history, you know?
that's a
I
it's
mean,
got to be up. That's
for me,
gotta be
I
up
think it
there.
would be the Miracle on Ice one. That's probably
Oh, definitely.
always. Uh,
Hmm.
but you know, there's gonna be times where you're gonna have even for this, like you're gonna have iconic Raider sports moments.
Definitely. Oh,
And I'm
definitely.
hoping we can get at least one more championship this spring. I would like to.
Softball's hungry for it. Softball, they're due.
Yeah,
After
so I
Final
went
Four
to
last
the
year.
I think Final Four 2 years ago and Elite Eight last year.
Well,
So
I thought it was Final Four last year. Was it not? Or
I
it might
thought
have
it
been
was the
flipped. It
Elite
was
Eight.
one or the other.
I know baseball was Sweet 16 and they fell at home.
Yeah.
They were right there. They were so close. Next one I have for you is do you enjoy the mixtapes or no, hold on, that wasn't the question. I messed up. The mixtapes, do you like doing the team ones or the player specific ones more?
For regular season games, I'll probably say the player mix, but for the playoffs, capturing the whole team is probably the
Yeah.
best. My favorite to do.
Yeah, because you got to get everybody involved.
Definitely.
That
And
too.
especially in such big games, like they're gonna want to remember that for the rest of their lives. So having someone be able to capture that probably mean a
Yeah.
lot. Just being able to show your kids that or show like your family like that, oh, I played in this and here's some like clips from it. Like it's second to none.
And I can ask that question too. Do you like doing the mixtapes or the photography better?
I like doing videography, but I can't forget the photography is where it all started. So I mean I can't go wrong with photography.
And see, I don't know which one I would pick because I was gonna senior year of high school, I was gonna drop broadcasting. I was going to do photography, but
Mhm.
and you know what? It never worked out. And that was my first year I did photography. So you're gonna have fun
Yeah.
with this Troutman next year. The next one I have for you is what is one event that you wish you did photography for? We can do one local, maybe Somerset local school event, and then one all-time event.
What like local like from this year?
Yeah, it could be this year.
Or
It could be all time.
um probably the game, the football game at Malden. I wish I could have gone to that. That would have been cool to
So you didn't
experience.
do, so where were you for that? You didn't go at all?
For that, I just don't think I could have gone up to Malden that day. I watched your live stream for it. I
Oh,
don't think
okay.
I could have gotten up. That's a bit of a
I was
hike.
like, they did a lot of photography for that, so I assumed you had some of it, but
No, I
it's not.
sadly no.
What's one all-time event you wish you could have done?
All time Somerset. Honestly, probably the Elite Eight hockey game last year.
Yeah, that's
Just go. I feel like that would have been a great game to go to and just photograph.
so you weren't there for that one either.
I didn't even get to watch it. No, I wanted to. I think I had soccer or something going on that day, so I didn't
Oh,
even get a
okay.
chance to watch it. So looking back on it and the hockey team this year, I totally wish I could have gone to that.
Yeah, if I had to pick photography for a game, Hockey Elite Eight definitely would have been the one. If
Yeah.
it's an all-time one, I have no idea. Next one is there any specific game that you're looking forward to doing in the spring this year? Like, is there an event that's circled on your calendar that you want to do?
I'm hoping I can get to the game Wednesday, the Seekonk Somerset Lax game, just because the hockey rivalry is going to be great.
Yeah, no, they've got I'm trying to think. They have a couple of the hockey guys on Seacon.
Yeah, I know Fitzy is on there,
Yep.
and someone probably a couple other because a lot of the hockey kids play at Somerset. Like Gavin's playing,
Yeah,
uh,
Aaron there and Aaron
Aaron.
there too.
Hmm.
But I remember I was there last year when they faced off against each other. I think it was like 13-1 or something like that. But
Hey, they're better this year. They're on a roll. They're on fire right now.
yeah, Seekonk Lacrosse, their first game earlier this week, I think they won like 21-10. And they got a new goalie out there
Yeah.
too. But
Mhm.
Chase, he's been stepping it up so far for Somerset Lacrosse. I'll
He's
give
done
him
good
that.
from what I've seen. He's done pretty well.
Yeah. Last one I have, I think we talked about it a little bit, but what's your end goal when it's all said and done?
For just every like just
Yeah, for
throughout.
anything. Like, do you want to do this as a career?
Definitely as like a side hustle. Maybe not as my main career, but definitely something I want to keep up with for the rest of my life because I found so much joy in this as a hobby and being able to express myself in ways I never have before. It really just it's amazing.
So what is it that you want to do? Because I know like a lot of these hobbies, people want to see major in. So what's going to be like the major if you don't continue with it?
I'm definitely gonna keep with it,
Yeah.
but I'm probably end up going into medicine or
Oh, good.
something along those lines, and then see where that goes. Definitely sports medicine though, because I want to stay around sports, but um, I don't want to waste my academic achievements through that. But I'll definitely, if anything, I might minor in photography in college and kind of grow off that.
Yeah, they also
But
got like clubs that they offer too.
they
Like,
have everything, yeah,
and hey, you could just show up, bring your camera, and then, hey, you know what? Even if you put like, oh, photographer for a D2 college team, like that's good to put on your resume.
yeah,
So
definitely.
with sports medicine, is that something like you want to do athletic training for, like what AT does?
Um, I've looked at it either like a sports physician or like orthopedic surgery, just because I find that so fascinating.
See, I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect that from you. But you know what? People got stuff that, hey, you wouldn't think that they would have done it. But, if it works out in the end, you'll take it, right?
Like photography, I never saw myself doing this
Yeah,
last year. So I mean,
exactly.
all it took was one
We're
game, and
about to wrap this up, but I want to open it up for you to give any shout outs to anybody watching at home. You got family, friends, connections, shout out anybody you want.
definitely Miss Troutman. She's probably my biggest, definitely my probably one of my top supporters, but also like my probably my biggest mentor with all this. My family, obviously, for being so supportive and getting me all across the state to all these events, and just all the players too. Just being able to experience this with them and kind of go through their high school sports career and like be able to photograph it for them really just means so much to me. It's a feeling it's an unmatched feeling I've never had before.
Yeah, and I say it too with the PA announcing. You and I, like photographers, announcers, we have the smallest roles probably out of anybody within the
Hmm.
team. And just to have that small part of it, like it means the world to all of
Oh,
us that
absolutely.
cover it.
Hmm.
That is gonna do it. If you want to see or learn more about Bryson Cain, his photography, he's on social media. We got his Instagram, Cuts by Kane. You can go follow that. Do you post him anywhere else that I don't know about?
I mean, my dad posted my mix on his Facebook, but that got really popular through the Somerset pages
Yeah, I
on
saw
the
that.
groups, so that actually helped a lot. I gained so many followers off of that, but um, yeah, Instagram for now, but hopefully we'll keep growing
Yeah,
other
make sure to
platforms.
check him out, everybody at home, because this kid's going places. I'll tell you that right now.